I studied fine art, history of art, early modern history and English literature at A-level. I had a place to read English literature at university, but after my A-levels I completed an art foundation course in Brighton and very quickly realised that I was going to go to art school instead. I then went on to study fine art at Bath Spa University and graduated in 2008. My practical work has always been in response to my surroundings, and I have been inspired by architecture, structure and space. Since A-level I have been fascinated by the key abstract painters. Gerhard Richter, Robert Ryman, Frank Auerbach and Pierre Soulages have all been critical to the development of my own ideas and style. After my degree I completed my MA in Fine Art, and it was here that I was approached during the private view at the end of the year by a gallery and was invited to exhibit my work in my first solo exhibition, which you can see here. It was an amazing experience to curate the show and have the opportunity to reflect on 4 years' worth of work. I was then approached by another gallery who represented me for several years. I endeavoured to reduce painting to its most simplistic form, and this became really apparent in the paintings that I completed during my masters. I am fascinated by the impact of scale and have worked to both small and large dimensions. The physical act of painting is important to me, as is the process and the ritual of producing work over a period of time so that the painting embodies its own history. This is my 5th year at Lingfield, and I've now been head of art for a year. So what does it mean to me to be a teacher? I want to be able to facilitate others to generate their own ideas, to be excited by the work they produce and to take risks. Personal discovery is key. I really enjoy the buzz when you see someone's project come together. As you know, I'm really competitive and I'm ambitious for all of my students, but also want to keep pushing myself to keep learning and reflecting on what I do. The art department works so well together because we all have different skills. The one thing we have in common is that we see art as both a creative and academic subject, and we have extremely high standards and a shared vision for the department and how we want to move it forward. Mrs. Harrison is the conceptual thinker, Miss Thorndale is the technical one, and I'd say that my strength is working with media and helping others to understand process and to take risks.
I am an ex-Lingfield pupil and studied art, biology, chemistry and maths at A-level. I left school to go to Leeds University, where I gained a first-class degree in zoology. I stayed at Leeds for a further year, completing a master's degree in biodiversity and wildlife conservation. My particular area of interest was the effect of anthropogenic forest disturbance on various species of bats, and I was fortunate enough to travel to Indonesia, Thailand, Kenya, Honduras and Guatemala to carry out my primary research. Before embarking on my PhD, I decided to have a year out from science to pursue my other passion, art. It was whilst completing a diploma in art and design that I realised that this was what I wanted to spend all of my waking hours doing. I discovered film photography and the magic behind developing my own prints in the darkroom, a process which never ceases to amaze me. The PhD was forgotten and a new exciting future of creating art lay ahead of me. At age 23, I went to the University of Roehampton to complete my PGCE and then started my career by teaching 4 and 5-year-olds. In fact, I taught a number of our current Year 7 and Year 8 pupils how to read, write and count to 10. After 2 years of teaching reception, I moved to the senior school and have been teaching art here for the last 7 years and photography for the last 3. My own artistic practice echoes largely what I encourage my students to do at photography A-level. I like to blur and break the boundaries between different disciplines such as painting, sewing, printmaking, sculpture and film photography. My work is highly conceptual and I strive to push an idea as far forwards as possible, at times incorporating ideas from geometry or science. I believe that art should not just be aesthetically pleasing, but must be communicating something of meaning to the viewer.
I made the decision relatively early on in my life that I wanted to pursue a career in the arts and creative industries. After studying my A-levels, I went on to complete a foundation diploma in art and design at Wimbledon College of Art. While exploring the many disciplines on offer, from fine art painting, 3D design to fashion and theatre arts, I decided to focus my practice on set design. In 2011, after completing a BA Honours degree in set design for stage and screen, I undertook various freelance jobs working for companies including ASOS and the BBC. I also worked as an art technician in a boarding school and helped students of all ages with the technical aspects of creating their artwork. This is where my passion for teaching was first forged. I view myself as somewhat of a creative sponge. I love sharing my passion for the subject and find helping students to create artwork hugely rewarding, particularly when I see their satisfaction at what they have achieved. My artistic pursuits are identified by their technical accuracy. I am a meticulous drawer, painter and model maker, with the recurring theme of precision running throughout. I particularly enjoy portraiture and regularly undertake commissions, most frequently for drawings of children. Alongside my love of drawing and painting, I enjoy the challenges of both sculptural and digital work, and since joining the school 2 years ago, have tried to implement these in lessons. One example of this is the Year 9 Surrealist project, which takes direct influence from my set design degree. Most recently, I have begun learning about text art and pattern design, and have over 100 unique patterns available for sale in the public marketplace via the website Spoonflower. Ultimately, my passion is for learning new skills and techniques, and in the near future I plan to begin experimenting more freely with layering and mixed media processes in my work. be having your group critique. And it's the first time you've done one of these. Don't be nervous. You are talking about your own work. So you know your work really, really well. You're only presenting it to your peers. It's not like anyone experience, it's not like anyone that you haven't spoken to before. What we're going to do is you're going to have 3 minutes each to give your presentation. Think about the information that I sent you on what you need to cover. So the development of your ideas particularly, you need to mention in there and making sure that you communicate clearly what your own individual take and concept was. Okay? After your 3 minutes, we're going to have 2 minutes for the rest of the group or anyone who wants to discuss anything they like about your work or anything that they think could be a target for you to improve and develop it further, should you choose to do that. So that's the structure of how it's going to work today. I think we're going to start with the ready or tea up, so who wants to come round? We're going to time for 2 minutes, okay?
Art at A-level has given us a valuable opportunity to develop and refine our creative ideas and skills.
It's really important to remember that art is not just a creative subject, but it's also academically challenging, as we've had to question our analytical perceptions of what makes good and bad art.
Aside from having excellent practical skills, it's essential that we are able to come up with original concepts to push the boundaries and the various preconceived ideas of art.
It's really exciting to see the diverse range of ideas and the individuality of the Year 13 cohort, such as sentimentality of objects, collections and their meaning, exploring portraiture through digital manipulation, ideas exploring beauty and the fragility of the human form, mental health, landscape and emotion, and questions surrounding architecture, atmosphere and isolation.
What makes a good art A-level student? Independent mindset, creative thinker, ability to take risks and reflect on your own practice, and the ability to form supportive relationships with your peers.
Why do I love art A-level? The freedom to explore and develop our own ideas in a supportive, nurturing environment.
This is the 3rd year that photography has been running as an A-level subject at Lingfield. So what makes a good photography student? Obviously you have to have an eye for a photograph, but you also need to engage with the work of other artists and photographers and write about their work.
You need to be experimental. In photography, we manipulate images in Photoshop, we print on fabrics, sew into our photos, and even fold our images into 3-dimensional shapes.
As well as digital photography, we also learn film photography. We are really lucky to have a darkroom at Lingfield, in which we can process and develop our own films, which is so much fun.
Photography is highly conceptual. It is not enough just to take amazing photos. You need to have meaningful ideas behind your work, and you need to be communicating something to your viewers. For example, previous projects have been about the relationship between a figure and their environment, creating beauty from the mundane, and the fading of memories with time.
I was awarded an art scholarship in Year 8, and I attend the Year 9 Art Club and Scholars Club every Thursday. It's really fun because we each have our own theme and opportunity to work on our own ideas and develop personal skills. We also have independent projects. I was really excited about the drawing project because I got to work on a scale that I've never worked on before and develop creative mark making. We try out new ideas and it's a bit of a creative outlet. We also experiment new techniques. The new Scholars Gallery celebrates what we have achieved and makes us really proud to see our own work on the walls every day. So what does it mean to me to be an art scholar? It's really rewarding to see that our talent has been recognised, and of course it gives us opportunity to work with other students from different year groups and support each other. It's also really fun.
alone and I still long to hold her once more. Oh, my boots of leather from Europe, I gather you know. No, miles alone and I still long to hold her once more. Oh, my boots of leather from Europe, I gather you know. No. I'm alone and I still long to hold her once more.
We hope you enjoyed our art and photography assembly. All that there is left to say is,
Will heads of year please dismiss?